For 40 years, thrash legends and rock and roll Hall of Famers Metallica have blessed the world with countless heavy metal anthems, many of which can be considered some of the genre's best songs. Whether it was from their classic thrash era of the 80s to their more streamlined sound in the 90s, Metallica's songs have always delivered one way or another. The 2000s saw them experiment a bit more with their sound to varying results, but the technicality and the musicianship never left. Until now, the boys continue to produce songs that can compete with the best that modern metal has to offer. That being said, it'll be quite a challenge to pick the best of the best among Metallica's extensive catalog. But as lifelong fans of the band, we'll be more than happy to give it a shot. In case we miss some songs that are more deserving, remember that this list is just a reflection of subjective opinions and not a scientifically proven list. So keep it fun and just enjoy. With that, here's our top 10 greatest Metallica songs. Whiplash. Whiplash deserves a mention on this list as it was one of the first Metallica songs made that showed how serious they were even as a young heavy metal band. When Metallica released Kill 'Em All in 1983, they started the thrash metal revolution of the 80s that completely changed the landscape of heavy metal. It was completely different from what metalheads were used to, and fans more than welcomed the raw, aggressive energy on display in that album. The songs of that album showcase this new, tougher sound. Fast, ferocious, and angry. And while those characteristics were reflected throughout the record, Whiplash is one of the songs that perfectly captured everything that Metallica stood for at the time. A powerful, full-on thrash assault with lyrics glorifying the fast lifestyle of metal bands, Whiplash remains a crowd favorite to this day, and Metallica often performs this song as a sort of tribute to their loyal fans, or the Metallica family, as James Hetfield calls them. Sad But True. The second track from the band's self-titled fifth album, Sad But True, is a stomping metal anthem that proves Metallica can slow down without sacrificing the heaviness that makes their songs so headbang-worthy. When Metallica released their self-titled album in 1991, known to many as the Black Album, it divided their fan base over its sound. On one side, the hardcore Metallica fans wanted the band to stay true to their thrash roots. On the other were more open fans who praised the band for trying something different and being actually good at it. One of the songs that proved it was Sad But True, a powerhouse of a song that stands as one of Metallica's heaviest tunes. From its opening chords that set the tone for a monstrous jam to Papa Het's crushing vocals, Sad But True is 5.5 minutes of pure pummeling metal that anyone would love to bang their heads to. Nothing Else Matters. Another standout from the Black Album is this ballad, which finds Metallica at their most sentimental. The album's 8th track and second ballad, Nothing Else Matters, is unlike anything Metallica had done up to that point. It was basically a love song that features James Hetfield crooning about his longing for someone while he and the band were on the road. No one has heard him sing like that before, and it sounded so different from the band's previous songs. Nothing Else Matters sounded like your standard radio-friendly power ballad. A band like Bon Jovi could have carried it and it would have worked out well. If anything, the song proves how versatile Metallica can be if they feel like it. It became one of the band's most popular songs and continues to be played regularly at live concerts today. Fade to Black. Fade to Black holds a lot of significance in the history of Metallica. It was the first ever ballad composed by the band and is also thrash metal's first ballad. It started the tradition of reserving the 4th track for one of the album's softer songs. It was the last song played by former bassist Jason Newsted as a member of the band. And it was also the song they were playing when James Hetfield accidentally got burned on stage while on tour with Guns N' Roses in 1992. From a musical standpoint, Fade to Black showed the world that Metallica was starting to expand its horizons. Not only can they play fast, hard, and heavy, but they know a thing or two about dynamics and melody too. The introduction of these elements is often attributed to bassist Cliff Burton, who taught the band music theory, resulting in more sophisticated songwriting. It also featured more introspective lyrics delivered from the point of view of a person who has given up on life and thinking of calling it a day. Lyrically, it's one of Metallica's darkest songs, but it's also what makes it one of the genre's most riveting ballads. Seek and Destroy. The second to the last track on Kill 'Em All, Seek and Destroy, showed early on that the band can come up with something that's perfect for arenas worldwide and still keep the abrasive thrash sound that defined their early years. Seek and Destroy showcased the strong influence of the new wave of British heavy metal on the band. In fact, its main riff sounded like something a British band from that era could have come up with. Drummer Lars Ulrich has revealed that the song was largely inspired by the Diamond Head song Dead Reckoning. It's currently the third most performed song in live performances by Metallica, and has been played at virtually every show since it came out back in 1983. Since the 2000s, it's often used to close the band's performances. For many die-hard Metallica fans, Seek and Destroy is one of the first songs that comes to mind whenever anybody mentions the band. And for good reason, it's one of the finest songs they ever made. Creeping Death. Its pounding intro alone is enough to get every metalhead in the room pumped up, and what follows is a 6-minute thrash metal barrage that will certainly get a mosh pit started wherever it's played. Creeping Death is the penultimate track from the band's sophomore album Ride the Lightning, and is as perfect as it can get. Its relentless sonic assault is pure adrenaline, and Papa Het adds to the energy with equally aggressive vocals as he barks about the 10 plagues of Egypt. Lyrically, the song was inspired by the 1958 epic The Ten Commandments, and is sung from the point of view of the angel of death sent to punish Egypt's pharaoh who enslaved the Hebrews. Imagine a metalhead Moses singing this song while telling Pharaoh to let his people go. That's basically Creeping Death for you. Enter Sandman. With this powerful track that opens the Black Album, Metallica introduced the world to its new sound. Enter Sandman has one of the most recognizable riffs in heavy metal, and is probably the first riff to be studied by anyone who's learning to play heavy metal songs on guitar. Even those unfamiliar with their other tunes have heard Enter Sandman at one point in their lives. It's been used in many sporting events such as baseball, MMA, football, and pro wrestling. The song has transcended heavy metal, and if a metal song does that, its greatness is pretty much undeniable. It's the perfect song to introduce Metallica to, thanks to its straightforward, heavy sound. Since its release, the track has become a staple of the band's live performances and one of their most popular songs. For Whom the Bell Tolls. Many remember this song for the opening of the film Zombieland, but its legacy is more than just the intro of one of the best zombie movies in recent years. For Whom the Bell Tolls is a heavy metal number for the ages that is as powerful as it is epic. Right off the bat, it sets the tone with an intro that showcases bassist Cliff Burton's masterful use of the wah pedal. Based on that alone, the song has one of the best intros to a song ever. From there, the song turns into a steady, fist-pumping track, with Hetfield taking inspiration from the Ernest Hemingway novel of the same name to convey a tale of desperation in the midst of war. A signature Metallica track, For Whom the Bell Tolls, will definitely be in anyone's list of Metallica's greatest songs. 1. There's a reason why One earned Metallica their first ever Grammy Award. Simply put, it's one of their best songs. It stands out among their other ballads for showcasing the best of both their softer, more melodic side and their aggressive thrash side. The fourth track on their 1988 album, And Justice for All, One is a harrowing tale of the horrors of war told by the perspective of a soldier who has lost his limbs, eyes, and tongue, and has basically become trapped in his own body. Like Metallica's other ballads in the 80s, it starts off on a somber note with clean guitars and melodic singing before Lars Ulrich's machine gun double bass drumming leads the song into an all-out thrash assault, capped off by a couple of furious solos. One is definitely one of the band's most haunting songs lyrics-wise, but its songwriting is also on point, and it may be the best ballad they'll ever make. Master of Puppets. It's quite fitting that Metallica's greatest album is titled after their greatest song, and perhaps the best heavy metal song ever produced. Master of Puppets is reportedly former bassist Cliff Burton's favorite Metallica song, and it seems many fans share his opinion. The track perfectly encapsulates all of the band's strengths: sharp songwriting, aggressive riffing, melody, and blistering leads into an epic 8-minute thrash number. 30-plus years after its release, no other heavy metal song has come close to the impact and influence of Master of Puppets, which is why it's the greatest Metallica song of all time. This list may be based on opinion and can be switched around in somebody else's list, but no one can deny the power and significance of Metallica's songs. The boys have crafted some of the best heavy metal tracks ever, and if anybody thinks some of the songs on this list can be swapped for better ones, that just proves that Metallica's body of work is too good to be ranked into a definitive top 10 list.